Managing agricultural waste can be challenging, but with the right innovation and technology, it transforms from a burden into a valuable resource such as organic fertilizer that are essential for crop production. That's exactly what sparked the creation of Farmers Hope, an organic fertilizer company established 15 years ago at Aputuja near Kumasi in Ghana's Ashanti region. Driven by science and sustainability, Farmers Hope developed a unique product called Asaasa Nufusuo, meaning breast milk of the soil. The name reflects its deep nutritive value to the earth. Using locally sourced raw materials like rice husk, biochar, cocoa bean shell, and neem seeds, the company blends nature and research to produce a potent organic fertilizer. This eco-friendly formula improves soil health, supports plant growth, and increases crop yields across all soil types. Farmers Hope shows how turning waste into wealth isn't just possible, it's profitable. It's a perfect example of how science, business, and sustainability can come together to drive agricultural transformation in Ghana. Currently, the company operates one shift with 15 to 20 workers, but it has the capacity to run three shifts and employ up to 60 people. Kwasi Osei Bobie Ansa is the Chief Executive Officer of Farmers Hope.
This company was founded in 2010 through a project dubbed Waste Not a Waste. It was organized by World Bank, and so out of that project, Farmers Hope was born. Farmers Hope, what we do is we recycle agricultural waste, particularly industrial waste. We turn them into fertilizer. Not every waste that we take, we have selected industrial waste, and a typical of them is cocoa husk or cocoa tester. And so Farmers Hope came into being through that project. And our main activity is to research and then formulate and produce a quality and more affordable organic fertilizer for smallholder farmers in Ghana. So research is a hallmark because there are a lot of materials available that we can use for production of organic fertilizer. But we are not only looking at the material availability, we are also looking at the nutrients in that biomass or the agricultural waste. That's why we are selective in whatever material we want to use so that we can get the quality of fertilizer we want to produce for the farmer. The raw materials that we use, they are basically from farms and few industries. So for example, we pick cocoa shells. Cocoa shells is like when you roast the cocoa beans, the shell that comes out, we take it from Olam, cocoa processing company. Then we take cocoa husk, which we turn into biochar, and then we process that cocoa husk from the cocoa farms into biochar. When you leave cocoa husk in the farms, in where they are dumped, where they call it aboye, where they crack the cocoa, you realize that the decomposition generates some gases. They are methane, carbon that escape from the process into the atmosphere. And for the reason of climate issues, we have to sequester those gases, and therefore we do biochar with these wastes to control the emission of these greenhouse gases. Apart from that, we use neem cake, which we get it from neem seeds, and it's a good product when it is added to fertilizers because it does a lot for the soil and also to control diseases. Again, we use shea cake. And shea cake contains a lot of methane, which we know the impact on green houses or green gas. So what we normally do is we take that one also and process to also sequester the gases that will be emitting from the unmanaged shea cake. We use calcium from oyster shells. That is part of the production. And we have poultry manure also as part of it. There are a couple of waste that we also consider, but before we take any waste, we have to research to find out what is in the nutrients available before we add. And in Ghana, we have a lot of waste all over in the agricultural sector. So we will research into it, go to lab and make sure that indeed we have nutrient in it before we add it to our production. Currently, we are working with UK Environmental Agency. We are now going to use seaweed and biochar to produce another form of fertilizer, and the process has begun, and we are working towards that. So it is in the experimental stage. When we are done, we will commercialize it and then bring it out. So these are the raw materials, and they are available in large quantity. In fact, the raw materials we have in Ghana can give us over 3 million tons of fertilizer in this country. There are a lot of raw materials available in Ghana. We are not talking about landfill waste. Landfill waste is different. We are talking about selected agricultural waste, like I have mentioned, cocoa husk, cocoa tester, rice husk. All those ones are the ones I'm talking about. So the household waste which goes to landfills, we are not even considering those wastes. And therefore, we have more than enough to produce fertilizer for the smallholder farmers in Ghana and probably in the sub-West African region. So currently, we are running one shift. The machinery installed is capable of producing about 800 bags per shift. So if we run the 3 shifts, then we are talking about 2,400 in the day. And the machines are capable of running the 24-hour shifts. Yes, we are able to do that. Then we do that only when we have demand. And when we don't have demand, we just let the machines lie idle. And as you see, because we are doing one shift, we have a labor force of about 15 to 20 between that. Okay, but if we are in full shifts, we will be having a little over 60 people working directly in the production site. So that is what we have now. So this type of fertilizer that we are producing, I will put it that it's a generic fertilizer, and it is organic, and it is good for all crops, irrespective of the soil type or the crop type that you want to use, whether vegetable, tree crops, palm, oil palm, coconut, all of them, cocoa, all of them, it does well. And so we have done work across almost all of them. So we've done work with the cocoa farmers, and now in fact the leading buyers are cocoa farmers, and the product is certified by CRIC, Cocoa Research Institute. We are doing some work on the pineapple currently. We are doing some at the northern region, upper west. Yes, upper west. Yes, and it's amazing. The results coming up is great. And I know other individuals who have done it. I mean, they have used the product on pineapple, and the feedback was great.
When asked about the kind of support Farmers Hope had received for the growth of the company. He acknowledged development partners including USAID-supported Feed the Future Ghana Mobilizing Finance in Agriculture, German Development Corporation GIZ, and key research institutions for their instrumental roles. The support varies from funding, technical expertise, and capacity building.
Yeah, so when we started initially, the project was a bit difficult because it involves a lot of science and testing lab issues and stuff like that. So we had soil research coming to our aid to support us anytime we conduct any research and we need testing. Then we had development agencies that came in to support us, and one of them is at the time was FinGap. FinGap came in. The trials that we did, most of them were done by FinGap 1 and FinGap 2 with Advance, and they were all from USAID projects. And so we got partnership with them and they supported us.
The founder of the company also shared the real challenges of producing organic fertilizer in Ghana, from limited access to capital to competition from imported inputs.
Our challenge is unique. Unique in the sense that the industry that we are in is mostly controlled by government. And therefore, when I say our challenges are unique, I'm referring to the control of government in this enterprise. Is heavily regulated. So if you look at Cocoa Board, if you look at PPRSD, if you look at importation of fertilizers, you realize that it's heavily regulated. Formerly, the fertilizer importers were not paying duties when they are importing. And when you are importing from other country, they think it's cheaper because when you get here, you don't even pay for duty. So the local producers have challenge in terms of pricing. They can price below you and then they can sell and make more profit. That is one. So if you're a startup in this business, it becomes very difficult for you to penetrate the market, irrespective of how good your product is. That is first challenge. The second challenge is farmers, as we know them, if a product is not sanctioned and distributed by government, they don't regard that product, especially in the fertilizer area. So they want to see government patronizing it and giving it to the farmers, maybe through subsidy or free fertilizer programs. This is where a local company like Farmers Hope suffers a lot. Anytime government comes up with a program of subsidy or free fertilizer, and the government doesn't buy from the local market, you cannot sell even a single bag. You cannot sell a single bag throughout the year because every farmer is waiting for the subsidized one or the free one. We have challenge technically. We don't have engineers that work on our machines. Not that the engineers are not there, but they don't have experience in the industry in terms of the machinery that we use. Either we cannot afford the engineers that are there to work for us, or we don't have them to do it for us. So in this case, when you are in this sector, it becomes very difficult for you to operate efficiently. So it's a big challenge. But from my experience, I've realized that a lot of the local people can do it, can do the machines. They can support in the maintenance of the machines. Once they get to know, how the machines function, they are able to come in to support you. So yes, the KTIs and those polytechnic people, they need hands-on experience. So we also encourage these technical universities and schools to bring some of their students on attachment here, so they have a feel of what we are doing, and when we request for anything, they can support us. I mean, shipping just one of these machines to Ghana, the cost alone, not buying, shipping alone, is so much. So if you can get somebody here to build it for you, that would be great. Then the last one is financial. And so financial issues, they are too critical. In fact, in the recent days that we have MasterCard Foundation and other supporting agribusinesses, we still have huge challenge because they give the money through the banks. And the banks, to me, are not doing, they are not doing the businesses any good. Why? If a company is in distress and the company wants financing, the bank want to see a good cash flow from the company before they can advance money. But if I have a good cash flow, why will I come for money? I won't, because I have a good cash flow. I don't have a good cash flow. That's why I am coming for support, so that I can have a good cash flow. And therefore, all the big banks that they are talking about, MasterCard is giving 10%, 7%, it's not working. Many people are complaining. Many businesses are complaining. So we don't get support financially. If it is not these development agencies that give some grants to support us, if you want a loan to support your business, is very, very, very difficult.
With the rising fertilizer prices in Ghana, it is imperative for government and partners to invest in local producers. Supporting businesses like Farmers Hope means healthier soil, higher yields, more jobs, a greener and food secure Ghana.